Okay, for this assignment, we're going to create an iHeart something using the text tool, pen tool, and live trace or image trace feature. First, you need to go to Illustrator, File, New. You want to create a new document, which will pop up right away if you have not been using it on the other screen, which is not a good start, but okay. And you want to just make sure, probably size, letter, and make sure your color mode is RGB. Name, how about iHeart? And then probably your last name. Okay. Okay. New document, go. All right. First step, text tool. It's the big T right here. You want to make your I. I would choose a font that is going to have a serif, which a serif is a font that, well, a serif is the little fancy bits on the end of a letter. It just makes it look more like a letter when you type. Probably a good font size, something like 200, and I. Ooh, that looks nice. I'm going to go ahead and make this an object instead of a text by selecting it, object, object expand. Okay. And now it's something that if I hold shift and resize, I can make it as big or small as I want. Just make it something that looks good and put it in a good looking spot. I will point out to you that I'm using the black selection tool, not the white one. The white one's for selecting individual points, and I'll show you that here in a second, but use the black one for selecting the whole object. Next, we're going to make our heart, which is going to use the pen tool. You see these little green lines popping up? These are helpful little guides, smart guides under View. Very helpful, and you might even turn on Snap to Point. That's going to make guesses for you on where it thinks you want to place them exactly. So, pen tool, and let's change our fill color from black, unless you want a black heart. That might be applicable to some of you. Let's change it to red. Okay, so now we're going to make our heart, and I'm going to start by just clicking once, and then clicking and dragging, and that doesn't look that great, but we will modify it later. And you see how when I come perfectly in vertical alignment with that other starting point, I can make my bottom point here, and that also looks bad. But we'll change it around. We'll wait till we get the whole heart first. Now, we want this to be symmetrical, so the easiest way probably is just to use the selection tool. Select this, edit, copy, edit, paste. Now we have a messed up new one. That didn't work. Make sure you have the whole thing selected, I guess. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Much better. And now we need to flip it, which we'll do by going to Object, Transform, Reflect. And again, that is on the other screen. So we want to make sure we're going to flip it vertically and then hit OK. And now we can move it around, and if you have it on snapping to points, ta-da! Now, I'm going to use the direct selection tool in order to be able to move these handles around and get the, oh, well, I guess it won't be symmetrical anymore, will it? Son of a gun. Should have done that before I reflected. Live and learn. It's not going to be that hard at this point. We'll just delete. Do it again. It's still not a great looking heart. I'm sure you can do better. Object, transform, reflect. Okay. There you go. Heart. iHeart something. So what you need to do is you need to take a JPEG you pull offline. Doesn't really matter. I recommend maybe something that has a white background. That way it'll work with your design here rather than being like this big black and whitish rectangular with a figure inside of it. Ooh, this one's kind of cute. We'll do. I'm not doing the girl again. I'm talking about my dog. I'm taking a picture of my dog. All right. So put your JPEG on there. Maybe make it a reasonable size. This picture is a little large. It might take a second. And what we're gonna do, it should be up here, or it could be over here, depending on the version you're using. But we're going to just image trace it or live trace, depending on the version that you have. And ta-da! Kind of worked. It's black and white, so it looks kind of weird, but shift. So, yeah. Really, that's good enough. If you want to do more, that would be entirely up to you. But at this point, I'm going to say we're just going to save and then upload to Flickr. So to save, you need to save it as a JPEG, which will get rid of all your vectors, will get rid of all of the possible editing you can do, really. But it will make it so you can upload it to Flickr. So to save this, you need to go to File, Save for Web. Must be saved for web, otherwise the options will not allow you to save as JPEG. And you need to come to the presets over here. We don't want it as any of that. We want it as a JPEG, which should look like this. Oh, we don't care about the color profiling or the finish. The size still is what we started with, and that should be fine. And just hit save, as long as you titled it correctly before. And then, well, I guess you can retitle it here now. Determine the location. Your flash drive would be the best spot, but the desktop will be fine for now. Save. And done. Real quick, when you go to Flickr to upload this, it just says upload at the top. Click on that, drag your picture on there. Once you've dragged it on there, you'll have the option over on the left to, and this is being slow enough, but you'll have the option to add it to a group. You should do that. You should add it to our classes group. That way I can actually see it and grade it. All right, well, we won't worry about Flickr, and this will be due a few weeks from when it was assigned. No, not a few weeks, a few days.